Well, hello there, everybody. My name is Finn, and welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I am probably going to be just talking about random things, maybe playing some video games. I guess we'll have to wait and see what I feel like. Today, my topic to be talking about is The Contract by 21 Pilots. I released this song on June 12th, 2025, and it's a really good song, so I thought let's talk about it. This video will be split up into three sections. One, I'm going to be talking about the music, cool music. Let me talk later about it. Two, I'm going to be talking about the video. Bro, this video, oh my goodness. And then three, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the lore. So let's get right into it. First, I really like the music of the song. So one thing to note about the music, as I'm sure other people have noted before, is that there are a lot of vibes from other albums in this one song. I heard Vessel, I heard Self-Titled, got vibes from Regional at Best and Blurryface and etc. And some songs that I kind of felt like I felt it in my chest. I felt Friend Please, I felt Semi-Automatic, I felt Heavy Dirty Soul, and we'll get back to that in a minute. This is just really good. It makes me really excited, makes me really happy and really pumped up. I'm excited to see what else this album will hold in terms of just vibes. Is this going to be a mix album? Is this going to be similar to the previous albums? I guess we'll have to wait and see. One other thing I should point out, I have no musical experience. I am simply talking about my feelings, I guess. So I'm not going to be talking about super in-depth things relating to this music video. It will just simply be my thoughts and feelings. So the song starts out nice piano. It goes like really interesting vibes. I am very interested in what's happening here. There's a lot of electro type stuff, a lot of synths. I really liked when he's singing the chorus, I think. When he's singing the chorus, he says, "That's crazy." And he says it, I don't know, when I first heard it was kind of like, well, that's crazy. Like, okay, you said it like that. And then I listened to it more and I was like, okay, I kind of like it now. Yeah, sure. One more thing I want to also add, I really like the flow. There was a really interesting flow, like, I've got a feeling the necromancer's outside. I don't know. That was a really interesting way to say that, and I really liked that. Also, when he does the, ooh, I'm not a singer, I don't know if you can tell. Tyler Joseph's voice is it's a really good voice. He's really, you know, you hope the lead singer in your favorite band is a good singer, but he just has such a large range. He does some really cool sounds with his voice, and that little ooh when he does the promises and contracts, that part, like right before there, it just sounds really good, really pleasing on my ears. I liked it after the chorus when he is, well, singing after the chorus. I really like how the drums suddenly pick up and they go hard. I really like the drums in this song. I'm not super good at commentary. I don't know. My most of my commentary is it was really good. I really liked it. But anyway, that's what you're here for. So that's what I'm here for. I just want to talk about this and then maybe people want to hear me talk about it. I don't know. I really liked the drum doing the drum things. There's also bits where like just I don't know what it is about that song. Or not that song, that sound. I really like that sound. And it just really, I don't know, it adds something extra to the song, I think, that hits my ears right, I guess. I don't know. Overall, the vibes, let me just say, the vibes are immaculate, very cool. And it only gets cooler when he starts screaming the pre-chorus. Oh my gosh, when he did that, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my goodness, that is the coolest, that is the best decision you could have made. It sounds so good. It's one of my favorite parts of the song. Every time I'm listening to it, I'm in the car, people are talking, I'm like, stop for a second, I need to hear this. And then I do, and it's just the actual best thing. Later on in the song, it kind of like slows down. It gets, what's the word? It kind of just chills out a little bit. It kind of feels a little cool, a little frosty even, and it just sounds, it's a nice, contrast to the like intense drumming and all that really cool stuff. And then he starts singing that pre-chorus again, and the drums kick in the middle of that. I don't know. I don't know. The first time I heard it, it just really tickled my brain a little bit in a certain way. And every time I hear that part, I'm like, oh, yes, do it again, do it again. And so I listen to it again because I have free will. And I really like that part. And then one thing, I know other people have seen this, have heard this. Immediately I clocked it. That sounds like Heavy Dirty Soul. It's not exactly Heavy Dirty Soul, but I played them side by side to compare it for myself, and it sounds like Heavy Dirty Soul. Thank you for doing that. I love the drums of Heavy Dirty Soul. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this sounds like my song right here, and I really liked it. This song has all sorts of sounds. It has electro vibes, it has pianos, it has drums, there are synths in there. I think that's electro. I don't know. I'm bad with instruments. Maybe was there a guitar? I guess I can't identify guitars anymore. I have learned. So I think there might have been a guitar. Or maybe that was all just synth. And I am being a little silly. But it ended on Torchbearer's theme. It also like began with some strings of Torchbearer's theme. But when it ended on Torchbearer's theme, I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is so cool. And it was really cool. So now let's move on to my second topic. It is the video, the music video. I will say this is one of my favorite music videos done by the band. It is just really cool. Oh my goodness. So let's start out. It opened on Paladin Strait ending. It opened on the ending of Paladin Strait. So immediately I see Nico coming up to Clancy and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was like, of course, like I'm sure a bunch of other people were thinking, is this going to be the fight? Is this going to happen during the fight? Is this going to be after the fight? And I was begging, I needed Clancy to say, hello, blurry face. And unfortunately, it did not happen in this song, but hopefully, oh my gosh, if this album does not have hello, blurry face anywhere, I am gonna lose it. But oh my goodness, yeah, it opened with that. I was screaming, please say it, and he didn't. And then the video started, and I was really intrigued. There is so much slow-mo. There are amazing shots everywhere. Upside down, you go around, you go with the lights, and all the lights are blinking, and everything's warping and distorting and super duper cool. I really liked one of my favorite parts of this video. When I watched it, my jaw was on the floor. It was when Tyler is singing the first, like, I don't know, the verse. I guess I'm not a music person, as you can tell. But he's singing that first, like, rapping verse, and it goes through the drums, and then he says, wait, and it pulls back. And, like, with the audio distorting as well, it felt like I was pulling back from Tyler singing as well. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Oh my goodness. And it was so cool. And then to follow that up with the screaming verse, I don't know, the camera choice to be like following Tyler's face as he's screaming is like the intensity in that moment was just, you could feel it. It was amazing. I liked everywhere. What were we seeing? We were seeing drums. We were going around the drums, in the drums, upside down, behind the drums, everywhere. Everything was crazy in this video. I don't even know what to say. Everything was like getting blurry and warped and distorted, as I said earlier, and things were like doubling and astigmatism or something. I don't know. And it like glitching a lot, and that kind of feels like it was tying into like the hallucinations part of this. Like Clancy's been hallucinating Torchbearer, I guess. We'll talk about that in the lore. And I guess just like this distortion kind of helped make it feel like it was happening in Clancy's head. It kind of gave like a sense of, you could feel the emotions he was feeling. You could feel his thoughts flying around in his head. You could, like, you knew what he was thinking, kind of, although there's a lot of stuff I'm like, what are you thinking, man? We'll talk about that in a second. There were a couple things, a couple shots in this that I really, really liked. There was that weird hand thing where he's like, he moves his hand. I don't know how they did this. I'm also not a videographer or cinematographer. I don't know. He does the hand thing where his hand, like he moves it and then like a stampede of other hands move with him. I thought that was really cool. He also did a lot of so much slow-mo, so many cool slow-mo scenes. He slow-mo jumped and I was amazed. I was like, oh my goodness, that was a slow-mo jump. And then when he was like standing in front of the drums in front of Josh drumming and he dropped the mic and it like did that swoop down, you know how mics do when they fall, and it like captured the different moments in the arc of the fall. That was really cool, and there was all sorts of cool weird stuff like that. There was the one part where he's like, I don't know, he like stops the water droplets and the camera, like he's moving normally and the water droplets just stop. I also don't know how they did any of these shots, let me say. I thought it was really cool. The weird thing with the swirling bodies, that at first I didn't realize they were bodies. I didn't realize until like the fifth time I watched it. I must admit, I was too encaptured by all the other cool stuff to realize they were bodies swirling around in the vortex. Also, one thing I noticed, there are red petals, and mm, red petals? Excuse me, sir. That kind of brings us into section 3, the lore. I must admit, I am not super deep into the lore. I am a busy person, and there's a lot going on. I have kind of the gist of it. I might say wrong things. I might say things that don't make sense. I don't know. But I know enough about the lore to be concerned and confused and have thoughts. So we opened with Paladin Strait, and you know, the thing happens. So Nico, he puts his little hands, his little grubby old hands around Clancy's neck. Clancy like closes his eyes, and then suddenly we're in his head. But hold up. Why are Clancy's eyes red for a second? What is he like? See, this might be where my like faulty lore knowledge comes in, but I know the red is blurry face, like in I think it was Stressed Out when his eyes were red, it was Blurryface talking to him, and now his eyes are red. This might just be nothing. Maybe he's like contemplating on the fact that he is with Nico right now, or that I think he was seized by Nico at one point. But that kind of, for a second, made me think, is Blurryface here the whole time with us in this video? Is he in Clancy's head? Speaking of in Clancy's head, there are red eyes everywhere. Clancy had red eyes at the beginning, and then there was the big crowd of red-eyed people. I'm thinking they're probably fallen Dema citizens who got by the bishops. Or maybe these are like the people who were seized by the bishops. Maybe Clancy's thinking about the fight that's currently going on and all the seized people fighting against the banditos, and he's like, oh, there's a lot going on right now. Maybe he's thinking about the toll Nico and the bishops have had on all the citizens, and maybe he's like desperate to save them, and that's why they're all in his head everywhere. Something else really concerning is that Clancy's hands are black and his neck is black, and this is a bad sign because it's symbolic of like, I don't know, the Dima stuff or something. But no, his hands are black, his arms are black. And then also, I just now went back to Paladin Strait to watch it to see if his hands and neck were black during that video, because that's the latest in time. And they weren't in the actual time, like the actual events that were happening. However, something I just noticed, people have probably talked about this, but I don't follow anything, so I don't know. But I noticed something. You know when he's like standing on like the cliff and he's like singing? He is wearing his breach outfit. I didn't realize that. He's wearing his breach outfit and his hands and his neck are black. And this makes me wonder, is his breach outfit the outfit of his head? Because in Paladin Strait, on that cliff. That was not a real thing that was happening. That looks really pretty and picturesque. I don't think that's a real thing. I don't know. And then, of course, the contract is in his head, so maybe the breach outfit is his head outfit. Was he thinking about these things before? Is he like, I know the lore, like, people are concerned that Clancy is going to be evil or he's going to lose or something, or that he's like second guessing the Banditos. Is this a sign that he's been second guessing? I guess it's not the whole time because these two videos happen right back to back. But I guess it just kind of is like a thought that he has been thinking about this, I guess, and thinking about the control Dima has had over him. I guess that makes sense. Also, Clancy does really something concerning. I'm like, Bestie, stop. He mimicked the bishop's face wear. You know, the bishops, they have their little black face masks on the underneath of their, like on the bottom half of their face. And Clancy, he mimicked that with his hands. He covered his mouth with his hands. And are you just thinking about the bishops? Are you a bishop? I've heard people say that maybe Clancy's a bishop. I don't think Clancy's a bishop. I read like one thing on Pinterest, I think, where people are like, what if Clancy's blurry face? I don't think Clancy's blurry face either. Maybe it's, I don't know what's happening. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So obviously, as I mentioned this before, we're in Clancy's head, and my thought is Nico here? Is Nico watching us? Is he in Clancy's head? It's just something to think about. I don't know. Moving on to some lyrics that really speak out to me. This is the part after he's like disintegrating. I don't know why he's disintegrating, so I'm not gonna talk about it. He's like, I used to see it felt so real, but now I plead, just take the deal. I promised you a contract. And he's talking to Torchbearer. What do you mean, Clancy? What do you mean? I promised you a contract while looking at Torchbearer. What contracts? Is the jumpsuit symbolic of a contract with the Banditos? But like that also brings the question, why is he pleading to Torchbearer? Take the deal. Torchbearer is on his side. He's on the Banditos. He's on the side of the Banditos. If Clancy isn't on the side of the Banditos, then it would make sense for him to be pleading. Or maybe he just needs more help from Torchbearer? I don't know. But what deal? They're already in the middle of a battle against the enemy that they're trying to defeat. Why is he making some random deal? Or, like, is he thinking about a past moment that happened, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, man. But anyway, the my hallucinations part is pretty, I think it's obvious that it's Torchbearer, I think, because like in navigating, Torchbearer was just a hallucination. And so that kind of makes me, it lead to the belief that the my hallucinations probably is referring to Torchbearer. And his line, I used to see it felt so real. He used to see Torchbearer in the navigating video, and it felt real, like he was relying on him to get through those woods, those dank and dusty woods, and he thought it was him, and then realized Torchbearer is like, actually, bestie, I'm behind you now. And Clancy's like, oh my goodness. So, yeah, hallucination, gotta be Torchbearer. Also, I will add one thing. If you're a fan of The Heroes of Olympus by Rick Riordan, I never know how to say his last name, but if you're a fan of that, you've read this. Okay, a little spoiler for this. If you haven't read The Son of Neptune, skip. Skip to the timestamp I will probably provide unless I forget to do that. But anyway, remember that time when Percy is with Frank and he's with Hazel and they're in the play? Are they in Seattle or Portland or somewhere? I don't know. He's with the seer. I think Phineas is his name, and they're doing the Gorgon blood thing. This kind of felt like Percy saying to Gaia, like, I'm doing this bargain, I'm doing this deal. If you say I'm helpful, you say I'm important, prove it to me, and don't let me die right now. It kind of felt like Clancy was doing that to Torchbearer right now. I don't know, that just kind of made it feel like a thing to me. I don't know. Is Clancy asking Torchbearer to, like, do the, I don't know, the hallucination thing he does? Because Torchbearer, I think he has like a power where he can like appear somewhere without actually being there. So is Clancy like, Torchbearer, you gotta do this now. You gotta show up behind Nico and like freak him out so I can take him out. I don't know what's happening. Another thing I want to address is the concerning lack of yellow here. There is no yellow in Clancy's head. Yellow is the color of like hope. It's the color of the banditos. The bishops can't see yellow apparently. So they're being red everywhere. Torchbearer is red. Has Torchbearer ever been red? I should have done my fact checking before I did this, but Torchbearer is wearing red. He has his red hair, his iconic red hair. Oh my gosh, Torchbearer's look, Josh's look this album is so good. It's so cool, but also why is it red? The flowers are red. I also don't remember if there've been red flowers before. I know Routines in the Night had some flowers. I don't remember if they were red or yellow. I don't know. Red flowers just reminds me of Jumpsuit when there's the yellow bandito flowers falling down. So I'm like, the flowers are red now. That's not good. Also, as I mentioned before, Clancy's eyes are red. I still don't know why. Is that an important thing, or am I just focusing on the wrong thing? I don't know. Clancy is also just wearing all black. I've seen people theorize this as Clancy like turning his back on the banditas and the bishops as well, and just doing this for himself or like becoming all out for just his sake, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know. I hope Clancy I hope this isn't Clancy's downfall. I don't know. One thing I should point out, is a really good lore video called Everything You Need to Know Before Breach, 21 Pilots Lore Explained, by Casey Lovett. It's a really good video. It explains all the important stuff you need to know before Breach. It explains like Clancy and all the thoughts about what's up with him and a lot of other cool things. Recommend watching it. Yeah. It's definitely a better lore video than mine. This isn't even a lore video. These are just my random thoughts. What am I talking about? The last thing I will be talking about, the thing that, oh my gosh, at the end, when Torchbearer, his theme started playing and he walked out with the jumpsuit, I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, is Clancy going to take the jumpsuit? Oh my gosh, please, Clancy, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. And I, oh my goodness, it just reminded me so much of the concert. Obviously, they did this bit in the concert. And I was at a concert where Clancy took it. So that's what that immediately reminded me of. But then I remembered the concert where Clancy did not take the jumpsuit. He did not acknowledge Torchbearer in the slightest. And I was on the edge of my seat. There was so much tension in the air. I did not know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if Clancy was gonna take it, if he was gonna not take it. Those are the only two options. Except there's a secret third option, which is Clancy opens his eyes and we're left on the same cliffhanger as we were a year ago. And that is what happened. And I am just, I am hyped. I'm so hyped about this. I am freaking out. I need more stuff. And I am so excited for Breach to come out. I am probably gonna make another video when there's more songs out, of course. I'm assuming there's gonna be like one or two more singles. I think that's what they've done before. I don't know anything. I'm recording this before there's before another single's announced. I'm recording this before even like a track list has been released, any song titles or anything. I don't even know. This is something I'd consider. I don't know if The Contract is the first song in the album. It kind of doesn't feel like a starter song. But one thing I was like talking to my friend about, this is kind of Clancy Part 2. Like, of course, I think albums should be able to like stand alone. But if this is Clancy Part 2, starting off right off at the cliffhanger, that's fine. But I think they released this first to keep us fans appeased. I don't think this is going to be the first song of the album, because we need a banger. We need a Heavy Dirty Soul. We need a jumpsuit. Good Day is one of my favorite songs on Scaled and Icy. We need a Good Day. Overcompensate. Okay, yeah. Okay. If we're comparing it to Overcompensate, we need a banger like Overcompensate. Welcome back to Trench is right. We don't need. Okay. Sorry, Clancy, we don't need your inner turmoil as the first opening. We need Hello Blurry Face. We need Hello Blurry Face as the opening. I don't care what you say. Imagine it opens with Hello Blurry Face. It ends with Hello Clancy, opens with Hello Blurry Face. I got it. The chills I just had. That is my dream, and that is all I have in this video. Hopefully my soul has been appeased by talking about this. Hopefully you've liked the video. If you've enjoyed it, you can do all the normal things people usually tell you to do. You can like, you can subscribe. If you subscribe, I don't know when I'll have another video out, because I don't know, I'm good at procrastinating. Maybe if I have this posted, then I'll be motivated to make another video. But I don't know. Guess we'll see. Also, I don't know what I'll be making next. Whatever. If anyone has any thoughts or ideas for things you want me to talk about, I can talk about things. I like talking about things. And I don't feel annoying about it because I'm posting this on my YouTube channel, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to watch it. So instead of berating real-life people with my thoughts and opinions, I berate the void online, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good day or night or middle of the day also. That is a thing that happens. And maybe I'll see you again one day. So yeah, bye.